This is Envision Self-Healing, a podcast, episode number 11. Hi, I'm Will Fuller.
And I'm Richard Miller.
And we are the co-creators of EnvisionSelfHealing.com. And we're dedicated in helping you improve your eyesight and quality of life
by taking healing into your own hands. This week's topic is creating your own eye exercise program. And in the second half of the podcast, we're going to be dealing with a question from a YouTube viewer who asks us, have you really improved your eyesight?
Yeah, it's really, I look forward to answering that question. Maybe find out myself if my vision's improved.
Yeah.
So Richard, how's the self-healing been treating you this week?
It's been a busy week as it has been for the last month, basically. I've finished my taxes. As you just witnessed, I'm buying a house now.
Yeah.
So that's been busy. We're editing video and things like that.
Yeah,
really. So we're quite busy. So I have shifted a lot of my eye exercises into integrated form. I'm putting my obstruction glasses on when I work on the computer, when I go to the gym, carrying around the convergence charts, the presbyopia charts.
Nice. So we got a. Am I right in thinking you've got a picture for our Facebook fan page?
I do.
Is it you wearing obstruction glasses?
That's right.
At the computer screen. What is it that you're working on?
Our videos.
On all the editing stuff.
All the editing of our videos. Yes.
I hope your room was clean when you took that picture.
Not necessarily. No. And I'll take a picture when I go to maybe I'll go to the gym tonight, and I'll take a picture there on the elliptical machine with my obstruction glasses on. So
sounds good. We have a few people, don't we, that work out in the gym while there's obstruction there.
Yeah.
Much to their friends and children's dismay of watching their parents or friends.
It's kind of a good way of sort of being an ambassador for eye exercises. You're going out and people get to ask you.
To the world.
That's the positive way of looking at it. The negative way of looking at it is that you're a freak and people are staring at you.
Although I must say, I think in San Francisco you're just considered normal.
Right. I live in a fairly normal neighborhood though, so I think I'm pretty abnormal.
Well, I certainly know when I do sunning at bus stops and stuff, nobody questions.
Yeah? Yeah, no, that's true for me too.
It seems relatively normal, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah.
So, but you've managed to integrate a lot more.
Yeah, and I think I've come up with this term called guerrilla eye exercises. It just means like instead of I figure it's like, you know how the British, well, you'd be familiar with the British in the Revolutionary War would walk in rows, and the Americans would pick them off from the trees.
Right.
And that was the beginning. Well, they didn't invent it, but it was the beginning of guerrilla warfare. So I figured this is a guerrilla eye exercise. It's just sort of doing it whenever and wherever from behind the trees, and a way of addressing a busy life. So
no, that's good. So let's hope you don't end like a lot of guerrilla. Let's hope you see this through and become successful.
Well, become a revolutionary.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
A Bates rebel.
A Bates rebel. So it's been good. And trying to fit it all in does take some thinking.
And you've also been able to fit the gym in.
Right.
Exercising, which again, this is what we're competing with. All the time, obviously we don't want to say don't go to the gym and work out, but really when we only have that hour a day that we dedicate to any sort of fitness or diet, or it's like, okay, what do I do? Do I go to the gym? Do I do eye exercises? Do I read spiritual books? What do I do with that time? Yeah. And I suppose the trick is to combine it all.
It's true. Well, it is true. So I'm taking my obstruction glasses to the gym. Yeah. And I'm palming and meditating at the same time. So you're right. That's my meditation time, which I need to fit in as well.
So
I haven't taken. I should try this. My palming stick to my meditation class. They would probably be fine with it, actually.
Yeah.
I should do that next time.
Yeah.
Push that envelope a little more, too. They can't handle a palming stick. They're not very good meditators, I think. So.
They should be paying any attention anyway.
Yeah.
If it's distracting them, then they're not doing their practice properly.
That's right.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that's nice to hear that you've been doing well this week.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, good. As I just said, I actually managed to get a picture of myself today standing at the bus stop. There's nothing more frustrating than rushing out the door like I did this morning, and jumped on public. Well, I ran towards the public.
That's good exercise, though.
Yeah, it is.
Be sure to be late for your bus so you get more exercise.
I didn't obstruct one eye though, because I probably would have ran into the bus if I'd done that. So anyway, I ran to the bus, and I managed to get it just in time. And I get on, and it's like 25 minutes to get across town, and then I get off. And then, of course, I have to wait 15 minutes for my next connection to then come through, so that I can then head further on to the next part of my journey.
But more time for eye exercises.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but there couldn't be anything more frustrating than rushing and then having to wait for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so I was standing there, and it's a gorgeous day here in San Francisco. Probably the nicest day we've had so far this year.
Oh, definitely.
And I think it's going to be even nicer tomorrow. Maybe we do a podcast tomorrow just so we can brag about how nice the weather is.
There you go.
And so as I was waiting, I thought, well, it's a perfect time to do some sunning. So yeah, I got a picture. You can't really see that I'm at a bus stop. Actually, it's funny. A street looks really busy, and you take a picture of yourself in it, and then you realise that it could be any street in the world. There's actually no one around.
That's true. Yeah. Well, there's certain parts of San Francisco you could be identified as being in San Francisco, but maybe with a cable car in the background.
Yeah, Golden Gate Bridge, standing on the bridge.
Yeah. It's kind of extreme to go get that picture, though.
I wonder where he is. So anyway, I got that picture. I thought that was a nice example of integrating, and it reminds me how we never really have a boring moment, because whether we're waiting to work with a client, or I'm waiting for someone on the phone, or we're waiting for anything, it's just exercises.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that you're never bored. So, but I also I had some good periphery success this week.
Oh, good.
Actually, one of them, I'm starting to work with the idea of, well, not the idea, but trying to develop more exercises of engaging the brain with my periphery. So I really feel like a lot with RP, it's meant to be that the cells are degenerating and dying, and once they've gone, you can't get them back. Right. But obviously, we feel that you can wake those cells back up and start getting everything going again. But what I've noticed is if the brain isn't engaged, if you're not trying to look in that periphery, then why would the brain be using it? Like if I've been so adapted since the age of 12 or 13 of just using my central vision, then I could be doing all these exercises that I am, but if I'm not trying to engage the brain to actually see in the periphery,
right,
then okay, I'm picking up more stuff. Like for example, when I was on the bus today, and I was facing the opposite direction, so I was going back, and you can see everything moving past. So that's a lot of there's bright light outside the windows, and when trees go past and cars go past, it sort of cuts the light off and comes back on again. So it's that contrast,
right,
which is those of you that aren't aware, but the cells in the eye respond to sort of an on-off. It's sort of a black-white, contrast, what's bright and what's darker. So it makes sense that I'm able to see more of that now in the periphery. It's that movement that's going on. So, but I realised today, and as I was sitting there, I was, great, I'm seeing this light. But what about my hands that were in my lap? What about the ceiling that's stationary? What about all this stuff around me? So, and sure enough, I started moving my hands. If you're somebody that was on the bus, I do apologise. But I started...
just do it spastically. I don't think you've got some sort of issue.
I started moving my hands around. And sure enough, I was aware that my hands were there, but it was something that otherwise I was completely oblivious to. So I really think engaging the brain to start using the periphery again, make it a resource, make it something that the body needs and actually wants to use. And then from there, once it's engaged, it's really going to start to strengthen and take on its own form again.
It's a similar thing that I'm dealing with that you don't have to deal with as much because your acuity is better. It's with someone who has blur in the distance. They're dealing with the same thing. It's like, how do they engage with an object further away than they're used to seeing? It's a very similar process of getting the brain to be interested in that object and pay attention to it.
And if they keep ignoring it, if you keep, I don't want to look over there because it's blurry, then the brain is never going to adapt to that, and you're always going to constantly be living at a few feet in front of you. So very similar. So anyway, I'm going to be exploring over the next few weeks a couple more exercises on maybe how I can engage the brain more, and instead of the static exercises. But again, warrants the need for integrating eye exercises into our daily lives. But I think I'm going to leave that for next week, because I know that's going to be our topic next week.
Right.
But I think it's probably a good time to head over to topic of the week.
And the topic this week is creating your own eye exercise program.
So this is something that we find is essential in vision improvement, is to actually have a program. Well, actually, not just vision improvement. If you think with everything, I mean, my background is anatomy, physiology, and physical education. So writing, programs for people. If you think of an exercise program, just like anything, you set yourself a list of tasks that you're going to achieve in that space of time, and you work your way through those exercises. So we find a lot of people, if you don't have this program, then it's kind of like, oh, well, I did this exercise today, and then, oh, and I sort of went to do this exercise, but I forgot about it. There isn't a consistency with that program. So it's certainly important that you have this program created, and also that you're able to follow it.
Right. And that's one of the major reasons we created the website the way we did, with this Learn, Create, Integrate approach. And while we spent all those months describing conditions in the Learn section, and then developing very simple programs in the Create section of the website. So if you're not familiar with the website, you go to the website, click on conditions in the upper menu, or probably do that. Click on the menu in the conditions in the menu section.
I'm glad you know about the website.
Yeah, I wrote it. I don't actually do this very much, but because I know everything. So you click on the conditions in the menu section. You go to your condition. You click on your condition, and it comes up with a three-tabbed screen. And the first tab is the Learn, where you learn about your condition. The second tab is this Create, and we've gone ahead and picked eye exercises for each condition.
So instead of having to, because obviously a lot of it when you first come across vision improvement, you don't realize, but there really is so much information out there about eye exercises, and this is good for this condition and this is good for this. And really, when you look at our modern day guide for improving eyesight, or our ebook that you can get on our website, we talk about equilibrium in the eye and having overall healthy eye vision.
Right.
And the idea is to reduce the strain and have a healthier eye. But with these programs, we're saying you still need that, but these programs are now more specifics. What is it that you can do to help your specific condition? So examples are, like with myself, retinitis pigmentosa. I really want to work on strengthening my periphery, so I do a lot of the peripheral vision exercises.
Right. And I guess we are of two minds of this. We do believe that everyone would benefit from an overall eye exercise program, which is more the way the ebook is oriented.
Yeah.
Sort of the fundamentals of eye exercise is what everybody should be doing.
Yeah.
And actually, even people with conditions, we would rather have them doing all of those as well.
Definitely.
But then we thought, okay, we've got to address specific conditions as well. So that's why we wrote the conditions section.
Yeah.
And have to admit, we considered how much time people would really be willing to put into the eye exercises.
Yeah.
So we did limit the number of exercises. That was tough on us because we had to eliminate a lot of eye exercises we thought would be beneficial, but we're trying to be realistic about what people would do.
And that's certainly, you can probably all tell, one of the biggest things that we're trying to battle here, and what we're trying to achieve with our work, is to get people to be able to do these exercises regularly on a daily basis without having the excuse of, I didn't have time because of this. And also, and what we're going to talk about next week, is once you have that program set in place, is to then integrate the exercises into your life. So I really think with a lot of the exercises in the modern day guidebook, they're probably easier to integrate into your life.
That's true.
A lot of it is creating positive visual habits.
Right.
And then when you've got your conditions, it's really sort of focusing that much more on a specific part.
Yeah, and we have encountered people who have a specific condition, and then they find eye exercise, and they may end up doing, sunning as a solution to, let's say, RP or something like that, which isn't bad, but it really isn't specific to RP. So that's why we try to come up with these programs, simple programs for conditions.
It's like a starter kit.
It is
a starter program. It's instead of hunting around all these books, and obviously we recommend anyway we've learned, but instead of getting lost in the sea of information, it's like, okay, here is a skeleton. Work with these exercises. These are sort of generic exercises for your condition, but certainly, just like you said there, I know for myself, sunning, it really helps my RP and really helps my periphery, and it's just something that you wouldn't necessarily give someone as an exercise.
Right.
And it's really a trial and error process.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when we work with our clients, it's at least 5 or 10 sessions where we play with the exercises. What does this help? What does this do? And then we're observing what responses your vision is having and what you as a person is having.
Right.
And then over time you develop this program.
Right.
But certainly what we've done there on the website is to give you a real basis for you to start from.
Right. Yeah. And you'll see when you go to the programs, actually sunning and palming I think they're on every program. I can't remember.
Yeah, so I know palming definitely is.
Palming definitely is. Sunning may not be on some of the programs, I'm not sure. Yeah.
So there are some core exercises that really, like palming, because everyone is under visual strain, or most of us, because we have such poor visual habits, and our modern day lives really demand high stress on our eyes. So things like palming are just a necessity.
But then somebody with, say, cataracts, we would prescribe more lens-oriented things.
Yeah.
So,
but the palming is still essential because you're looking at getting rid of the strain and the stress.
Right.
And one thing that we really try to do with this work is to work with the symptoms, but also what's causing it in the first place. And I suppose that's one thing that's a little bit more difficult with, say, yours and mine condition, because for mine they don't know what causes it.
Yeah.
And for yours, I suppose it's been caused, and it's
and the question is whether you can improve the cells that or whether they're dead or alive or semi-alive. That kind of question. Yeah.
So, but with things like presbyopia, nearsightedness, even glaucoma, to some extent, it's what's causing that. What's causing the pressure in the glaucoma? What's causing the lens to stiffen in presbyopia? All these. There's, instead of just going with the symptoms and just trying to get results, it's also trying to work with the cause and cutting to the core and working from the bottom down instead of.
And our approach is actually way simpler than probably the medical model of it. Is like we like, if you have a problem in your arm, we would, the medical model might be, there's some sort of magic disease coming from outside the world to cause, or your arm problem,
right?
Or you have genetically bad arm. That would be their approach, and we're like, well, just exercise your arm, get it healthy, and that condition will go away. We take that approach to the eye. It's like, you have a cataract on your lens. Let's make the lens healthy. Let's exercise the lens, not, that was genetically caused, or it's coming from some space space dust or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. But certainly we also want to see it as systemic and holistic, as in the whole
Right.
body is involved.
Right.
And like, again, with, say, glaucoma, it could be poor blood flow to the eyes that's
Right.
causing the high pressure.
Yeah.
So whereas, say you had a stiff neck and you went to the massage therapist and they would just massage the neck just to help, we would also look at massaging the back and the shoulders
Right.
as a remedy to help the neck, because everything is interconnected.
Well, and the bonus is you get a healthier body overall in
Yes.
this whole thing. So
Exactly.
But that's not a harmful thing, is it?
I don't know. I'm sure there's some study somewhere
Yeah, right.
that will find something.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is a lot involved with the program, but with creating the program. But what we're trying to say is don't be overwhelmed at this point. We've got the exercises there for you to get yourself started. You're looking, just seeing how much time you can spend with them, and then just play with it over time and see how you get on with the exercises themselves.
Yep. So that's the create section of our website.
So I think it's about time we should move to question of the week. And the question of the week this week comes from one of our YouTube viewers, Cloud Weave, and I'm sure that's not his on his birth certificate, but anyway, it's a nice name.
Oh, cloud is in cloud. Okay. Cloud.
Oh, Claude.
Claude.
I don't think
He's
he's
not
French.
Claude. Okay.
Maybe.
Cloudweave.
Yeah,
I like it.
maybe I've just butchered his name. I'm terribly sorry, Cloud Weave, if that is your name. And in fact, if it is, then tell us and we apologise. So, and his question is, thanks a lot for your tips. I've abandoned my glasses since 10 months now, gave up eye exercises as well, and I'm thinking about laser surgery. But since I found your channel and your cool way of presenting your mission, I've regained hope. Do you actually make improvements? ? Thanks a lot. So, well, first of all, thanks for a real nice message. We appreciate that. It's certainly something that we've working really hard on and have spent the last years really trying to
perfect this new technique, this new approach. So it's kind of nice to have somebody appreciate what we've done.
Yeah, and really sort of try and work it into. I mean, we're not necessarily saying the Bates method is old, but it's from 1850, and
well, and you got to look at how many people are really successfully using it.
Yeah,
so.
And it would be it's encouraging, because something that we're really trying to do is get this to such a larger audience. And for people to realise that it's not this mystical method that,
right.
It's just, for us, this really is just common sense. And you just have to work these exercises into your daily life and you'll start seeing improvements. I mean,
right.
Just no different than eating healthier or walking 30 minutes a day. All these health initiatives is all about, trying to work this healthy lifestyle, and we just see vision improvement as just another level.
Right, we're just including the eye and the whole body in terms of making it healthier.
So it's really great to know that we're getting this message across, and
well, and we're trying to make eye exercises fun too, as opposed to boring. And yes.
And I don't know whether you've noticed, but Richard and I don't enjoy boring. Although I'm sure some of when we get in-depth conversations in some of our videos.
Oh yeah, you mean about cones and rods and photo transduction? But that's not boring.
That stuff's exciting. It couldn't get any more exciting than light rays being turned into electricity.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Anyway, so we're really grateful for that. So with the question is,
and we do get this question a lot, and we both kind of like, really, you can't understand that we're improving.
And I guess that's because we're I would never support something if I've not tried it,
right,
or if I've not known someone personally, or I've really worked with it myself,
right.
And and that's why we experiment so much with all these healthy diets, and I've done raw for a while,
right.
both juiced for a while,
right.
and I've tried fruitarian, and just to see, because once you've done something yourself, then you can then educate others about it, and you can be more confident in your.
Yeah, and basically we have both come from the position of having to need glasses for some conditions, so we know that experience of just dealing with what's called errors of refraction, myopia, farsightedness, stigmatism, things like that. And we both have conditions that are fairly serious eye conditions, so we know it from that position as well. And from both of those places, we've seen improvements.
So you could definitely say, and most of our listeners are probably more interested, or people seem to be more interested in the glasses to begin with, and certainly Richard and I don't wear glasses anymore, and we've both got our prescriptions that show, or in fact we need to try and get hold of those, don't we? And we need to put a copy up on the website.
Right.
Anyway, that we've improved our eyesight that way. But also, and it's funny in the end, once you get rid of your glasses and when you start working with your condition, you realise is that the glasses are just like a very small stepping stone. It's like, to begin with, it's like, wow, you can get rid of your glasses.
Right.
And now it's like, just get rid of your glasses. Stop paying attention to your glasses. Let's work on your condition.
Yeah.
This stuff is a lot more hard to work on, and there's so many more, not more benefits, but there's a lot more work that comes from engaging with your
condition.
condition.
And if you don't have any condition, and maybe you're a younger person or something, we are at least, you could be getting rid of your glasses and preventing any future eye conditions down the line too.
I wish that I had discovered these exercises at the age of 10 and or even younger, and it had been introduced to me, because I firmly believe that my periphery would be twice as good as what it is now if I'd had that opportunity to do those eye exercises. And certainly I would never have worn glasses.
You're right.
And I think that a lot of the reason why I have my cataracts is from the stress and strain that the condition has put. The RP and the glasses, all of that has put on my visual system. So I really feel like I could have prevented a lot of this if I'd known from a younger age. And of course, our ultimate goal would be that this is how anyone listening, you raise your children to have healthy visual habits, just the same as brushing their teeth. They would do 5 minutes of palming a night, and so that the next generation that come through, we avoid, what's it now? Pretty much 50% of all people are wearing glasses now, depending where you are. Certainly in America. Yeah.
It's gone up dramatically with computer use as well. So
the fact that a lot of this can just be avoided.
Yeah. So I want to address the last part, which is we have improved. We think you will improve. Mm-hmm. And the third thing is, I guess I would say, if you're not going to do the eye exercises and you can't deal with, I guess if you're not going to do the eye exercises anyway and you're never going to improve, we certainly wouldn't encourage you to get LASIK. Yeah. I would rather see you wear the glasses than get LASIK. Yeah. If I had to choose between those two.
And that's something that we're going to do. I think we answer it in our FAQs, and we don't have time to go through it now, but we certainly will address LASIK at some point. But just, even if you were really set on having LASIK, at least give our programs a year. At least work an hour every day. Work on your eyes. Really give it your best, and then as a last resort, then you're looking at something like LASIK. But really, it's cosmetic surgery. It's just because you don't like wearing your glasses, and we've seen so many people just not need their glasses anymore. Yeah. And the potential side effects and the actual side effects that they even tell you about, like glare at night and all the rest of it, all these things.
And there are disaster stories, a percentage of disaster stories in LASIK.
Because they will convince you that it's a simple surgery, it takes 15 minutes, blah, 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 but nothing is simple when you're talking about shaving off a layer of the cornea.
Right. All so you don't have to wear glasses, which we encourage not wearing glasses, but not in that direction.
Yeah. So we will look at LASIK again at some point. But certainly what we would love is eventually for people to not be getting motivation from us improving our eyesight or from our clients improving their eyesight. Remember I said before, the best motivation is to do it yourself or,
Right.
or to know somebody yourself.
And then that question is meaningless at that point. In some ways, if you start doing the eye exercise, in a month or two, you see that it's getting better.
I even had somebody email and said, I'm doing the eye exercises for RP and my peripheral vision is improving.
Right.
But do you have proof?
Right.
And it's like, but you are proof.
Exactly.
What you just, but it's weird. I don't know whether we're trained, like we have to justify everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there couldn't be any more evidence. You shouldn't need any more evidence than your own visual improvements.
Right.
And it's a shame, even, lots of clients that we have, that they're really improving their vision, but their big test is going to the
eye doctor,
optician and getting their eye tested. And if they don't test 20/20, or if they don't test better, then their vision hasn't improved.
Right. Even though the day before they did an eye exercise, saw it improved immediately.
Yeah. And read a line better on the chart.
Yeah.
So it's really starting to. I mean, our line here is to take healing into your own hands, and it really is. Instead of relying on us here, this is all about you, and for you to start doing the exercises, you start seeing the benefit. And then you can be in the position to tell others whether it helps or not.
Right, and the fact that it improves at one moment and maybe goes back down is just an evidence that your eyesight does fluctuate.
Exactly.
Yeah. In general, it's an up and down thing that's hopefully going in the right direction. So your fluctuations are still going in a positive direction. But you've got to expect fluctuations. And if you could go to the eye doctor and have a downward fluctuation that moment, and then you'd be completely discouraged if you treat that moment as the definitive test of whether you're improving. Whereas really, every moment your eyesight improves through your eye exercise program is a proof that it's improving.
Yeah.
So.
And everyone is different in their own. I know sometimes if I'm feeling a bit sick or a bit run down, then my vision's worse.
Yeah.
And we expect our vision to be perfect 20/15, 24/7. People are like, oh, I don't see as well in the dark. Well, there's a reason why you don't see as well in the dark.
Yeah.
We're not meant to be seeing perfect 20/15 vision all the time.
So that's our hope, is that the evidence of improving is really in your own hands.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to be developing a testing product that we're going to be putting on our website. And that'll at least help you take the tools that the eye doctor has and you take that into your own hands and at least test yourself so that you could be seeing your improvement.
And hopefully it'll be a position when you sit down in the eye doctor's office and you say, okay, well, yesterday I was seeing
that's good.
20/30, let's see what I'm measuring today. I'd love to see their face. And again, it's providing you with more knowledge and experience, and it's just really taking control of your own situation.
Yeah, so look out for that product.
Okay, great. Well, as always, excellent session this week. It's dangerous us doing these sessions during the day. I feel like I could talk for hours.
I'm not sure.
So, but for the sake of your ears and for your mental capacity, we're going to leave it there for this week. If you haven't had a chance already, head over to the Create section of your condition and check out the program that we've got written for you. You can also download our free ebook that's available on our website at envisionselfhealing.com. And in that ebook, you'll find a lot of great tips and techniques on how you can improve your eyesight and really looking at improving the whole eye in general, reducing eye strain and taking you that next step towards vision improvement. Also, you can head over to our Facebook fan page and like us and join us over there on our Facebook community, and you'll see a bunch of pictures over there that Richard and us and how we're getting on our week, and just sort of the community that we've got going on there. You can also make a comment underneath this blog or anywhere that you're viewing it, and let us know how you're getting on, and certainly send us your feedback on how your vision is going, whether it's improving or having a tough time or whatever, and let us know how you're getting on. So good luck with your eye exercises this week, and happy healing.
And have a good week.